Hey, what's up you guys? Plus Ultra James here, coming at you with another video. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. Subscribe if you enjoy the content and want to see more. With that being said, let's get right into it. So, before we get started on this video, I have to correct some tiny mistakes I made in the last video. So, starting with the storyline. So, DCeased is the beginning of this story. That's what we're covering right now. Then I forgot about DCeased, A Good Day to Die, which is a one-shot comic that takes place at the same time as DCeased, but it's focused on Mr. Terrific, Big Barda, Mr. Miracle, Blue Beetle, and Booster Gold, and it's on their plans to save the world. DCeased Unkillables takes place during, but really sometime after DCeased, and like I said in the last video, it's focused on what some of the villains were doing while everything was going on, but mainly focuses on Red Hood, Rose Wilson, Deathstroke, and Jim Gordon. DCeased at Hope at World's End, not Hope for the Future, I messed that up so badly, takes place in between the DCeased issues, and it focuses on some of the main heroes and some others we don't get to see in the main issues, and it highlights some other events that were going on in between the issues. Then finally, where we're at now, right now, we're at DCeased Dead Planet. They're on issue 5, I believe, and that takes place 5 years after the main DCeased issues, and that's like the true sequel to DCeased that we're covering right now. That was a lot, geez. All right, now that all of that is out of the way, let's begin with the second issue of this story. So, quick recap as to where we left off. In the last issue. The world is going to hell. 600 million people have been affected by the anti-life equation, and the world's greatest detective, Batman, and 2 of his sons have been infected. Now, I say his sons because that's what really, they are to Batman. Like, Batman, in my opinion, is like, those are his sons, and that's how he views them. So where we pick up in issue 2, and we pick up in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean with Aquaman checking this huge ship out that's been abandoned. He's calling out to see if anyone is there, telling them help is here. Then he opens up the first door he sees, and as soon as he opens up, he sees hundreds of infected people on this ship, and they leap at him. He drops his trident and falls into the sea with them. Now, at first, I didn't have a problem with this, but now I do. And I'll tell you why. Because at first, I'm like, of course, he dropped his trident because he wasn't trying to kill anyone. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know that they're infected. They're not human anymore. But now that I think about it, he could have just used the other end of the trident to knock them out, or he could have just held it in front of them to keep them back, to block them from leaping at him. He just dropped it and let them leap on him and force them into the ocean. So I got a problem with this. So Tom Taylor, why'd you kill Aquaman like that? I swear, Aquaman never gets respect. He never gets respect. I don't know why. He's a badass. But anyways, we pick up back in Lois and Superman's apartment, seeing a conversation between John and Damian while they watch Metropolis go in hell. John is trying to comfort Damian, telling him not to worry about Batman, but Damian is being tough, saying he isn't worried. John is surprised he says that, because he replies back saying, "Are you really? Why not? Because I'm pretty sure, I'm 80% sure this is Armageddon." So then Lois and Superman, after they check, Lois checks on her parents. She finds out they're fine. Superman needs to go check on his parents though, but they both decide to go to the planet before he heads out there. We then finally get to see what some of the villains are up to while this is going on, like Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Now, if you're not aware of this, Harley and Poison Ivy are a couple now, and we actually get to see a big moment in their relationship, which is Harley getting ready to confront the Joker and basically tell him it's over. There's a little bit of a back and forth between them. Harley at first tries to get out of it. She's afraid. She then tries to talk Ivy into coming with her, but Ivy just gives her a kiss on the cheek and tells her, after you do it, you'll find out what I already know. You're strong enough to do it alone. That is like an awesome moment we get to see in their relationship. So she enters the room and basically, tells the Joker, that it's over. But Joker is looking at a bunch of screens, whether they're TV screens or computer screens. We know something's not right. And then the comic unveils to us that the Joker is infected. Crazy. We then pick up to outside of Metropolis with Green Arrow, Black Canary, and Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern. We don't know the world is going crazy, but I really like this scene because it's a nice break from the intense situation that's going on around the world, and it's kind of comedic. So Hal's complaining about how they talked him into camping, and the Canary says, because she's very persuasive, and Green Arrow chimes in saying, and you're weak-willed, and which is funny because Hal then replies with, I'm literally known intergalactically for my strength of will, which is true because all Green Lantern's powers, their powers mainly comes from their strength of will. That's what gives power to their rings. There's a little bit more of a back and forth, but then Green Arrow hits him with a zinger. He changes the welcome message that Green Lanterns get when they're chosen by the ring. And he says, Hal Jordan, you have the ability to suck the joy out of any situation. Welcome to the Killjoy Corps. And then after that, Hal has nothing to say. He says, alright, yeah, I'm going to turn in. Hal gets in his tent and then goes on his phone, which we know is a bad idea. Green Arrow and Canary takes notice of this, saying he's on his phone. Green Arrow's like, yeah, so much for getting away from it all. And then he asks her, are you ready? So they're going to prank him. He goes to play his bow like a harp, and Canary starts to sing, but then all of a sudden, they hear this loud noise from the tent. Then all of a sudden, this huge blast comes from the tent. Huge blast of Green Lantern's energy, and they're just shocked. And then you can hear the ring calling out, saying lethal Green Lantern of Sector 2814, lethal force is not sanctioned. He goes to attack him again. Green Arrow's telling Canary to move. She gets struck. Then Green Arrow shoots him with an arrow, one of his famous punching glove arrows. Green Lantern goes to attack him right back with this huge construction of teeth. And then all of a sudden, Canary comes screaming out Ollie's name and hits Hal with a huge canary cry and just keeps blasting him. But then we cut out of that situation going on and end up back with Superman and Lois and John and Damian back on top, landing on the top of the Daily Planet, because she's looking to use the old analog system to create basically a radio station so they can communicate with people. But Superman checks it out with his X-ray vision, and he sees that basically the whole building's infected. And Lois asks him, is anyone we know? And he just replies, looking down with his eyes closed, sad, saying yes. He then goes to fly, and they ask him where he's going, and he said he heard something. Damian asks him, what did you hear? Superman replies with a scream. We then cut right back to Green Arrow and Black Canary, and we see that Hal's dead from that canary cry. They're both shocked, and then all of a sudden the ring activates, and it says that Green Lantern of Sector 2814 is deceased. It's scanning for a replacement. Then it says replacement found, and then all of a sudden the ring has chosen Dinah Lance, Black Canary. It says, Dinah Lance of Earth, you have the ability to overcome great fear. Welcome to the Green Lantern Corps. And then the next page we see, she is donned in the whole Green Lantern outfit with her famous black jacket, and her Black Canary outfit. And it's just whoa, that is sick. Black Canary as a Green Lantern, when I first read this, I was just like, what? This is awesome. This is amazing. She is going to be a force to be reckoned with. But after when that happens, you know, she replies like she doesn't want this, and Superman then pops up saying like, we're going to need it. They end up back at the Daily Planet, and they find out that Batman has made contact with them, and Green Arrow goes to talk to him saying, you know, what, Hal just turned into a zombie, he tried to kill us. Batman replies, and he lets us know that these aren't really zombies. He tells them that they're not consumed by hunger, they're not feeding on anything. All they're doing is just spreading death. Their goal is to steal life. He says these are the anti-living, and the trigger is the equation. So Batman has found out that this has come from the anti-life equation. And he tells them to listen carefully, and he lets them know that he has been infected, that he's examined his own blood. It cut to see that Batman is inside one of Mr. Freeze's suits, using the suit's cold to like slow down his metabolism so it doesn't spread as fast. But he lets them know that like this is the last time they're gonna see him, that it's gonna soon take over him. He lets them know that it's transferred through the blood, and it's also transferred through digital imagery. That in order for them to save the world, they have to destroy any humans that are carriers, and they're gonna have to take down the internet. Green Arrow then chimes in, and he's trying to say like, come on, you can't die, you're Batman, like you've overcome so much, you're gonna come up with a plan to, you know, outwit this evil. You're gonna overcome this. There's something you can do. And Batman just simply replies, there isn't anything I can do. Or maybe his mind won't allow it, which is sad, because then we go into you know, a nice moment between father and son, you know, between Batman and Damian. And he's basically like telling Damian that, you know, Alfred has something for him, and it's something that he always knew that Damian was going to earn someday, that he always wanted for him. And Damian is just calling out to him saying like, Batman, and then his final word to him is Dad. All of a sudden Batman is clawing the helmet of Mr. Freeze's suit, ripping it apart, and then he finally becomes fully infected with the anti-life equation. He turns and goes to attack Alfred. Alfred tells the computer to cease transmission. He then tells Batman it shouldn't have ended this way. Not for you. I'm sorry, son. And then Alfred shoots Batman. And that is the real end of Batman. Crazy. This is the real end of Batman. You know, this is, I know I said last issue that, you know, that's the end of Batman, but no, this is the real end of Batman. Like, we don't see him again. Bruce Wayne's not coming back. You know, this is the end of him. Which, like, this is a big blow to the Justice League, because Batman was, you know, the brains. He was the master strategist, you know, the guy who would come up with the plans and would, like, you know, basically figure out a way to get out of, you know, situations they were in. I really love this. I really love the moment between Damian and Batman, that father and son moment. And I love the moment that, you know, between him and Alfred, you know, and Alfred referring to him as, you know, son. It was really sad. This just like lets us know that, like, you know, anyone can die off, you know, no one's safe. But I hope you guys enjoyed this story. I really love the second issue. Next, we're gonna do the third issue, and there's just more craziness to come, I'm telling you guys. But anyways, with that being said, if you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up. Also leave a comment down below on what was your favorite moment, what you didn't expect to happen, and subscribe to the channel so you can get more videos like this. Have an awesome day. Thank you for watching again. Peace, love, and blessings. Remember to go beyond plus ultra.